In today's cooking tutorial, I'm going to show all of you how to make your own homemade beef jerky.
So when it comes to making beef jerky, you're going to either want to have flank steak or top round steak. As you can see here, I've got 1 pound of top round, and in this clip I'm cutting with the grain of the steak. I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch strip, and that's going to make the jerky more chewy because we're cutting with the grain. Now on the inverse of that, you can cut against the grain as you see here, and that will make your jerky will be more tender in this instance. So once we get all of our steak cut up into strips, we're going to get our marinade for our jerky. This is what's going to set up overnight in the fridge before we move on to the next step. You've got a 1/4 cup of soy sauce there, a tablespoon of Worcestershire, a teaspoon of cracked black pepper. I'm going to also have a little bit more of cracked black pepper off to the side for when we go to dehydrate. There's a 1/2 teaspoon liquid smoke, a 1/2 teaspoon onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon Tony Chacheres, and lastly a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Whisk those ingredients together, pour them into our Ziploc baggie there, and like I said before, we're going to store this overnight in the fridge and let it marinate and absorb all the goodness. Our steak strips have set up overnight in the marinade. We're going to take them out and put them on our dehydrator trays, spacing them to where they're not too crowded. Alright, once we've got our jerky spread out, and before it goes into the dehydrator, that reserve black pepper I had spoke about earlier, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of that over the jerky strips there, and I'm also going to use red pepper flake to give it a bit of heat. Cracks are ready to go into the dehydrator. I am going to set the dehydration time for 4 hours and at 158 degrees because my dehydrator only goes up to that temperature, but a good rule of thumb is to go anywhere between 155 to 165 degrees and set it, like I said, at 4 hours. Now, depending on how thick your jerky cuts are and how much jerky you are dehydrating, you may need to add an additional 30 minutes. Just keep an eye on it, and that way you'll know where your texture is. Alright, 4 hours has elapsed. Our jerky is done.
And here is a close-up of our finished product. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but I can see the cracked black pepper that's on there and our red pepper flakes to give it a bit of heat. But yeah, it's a very simple process, and you can enjoy a gourmet beef jerky in the comfort of your own kitchen.